And remember, coconut oil contains what's called MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, right? They say that those triglycerides or that type of fat pretty much gets digested really easily and used for energy, right? It doesn't get stored as body fat.
Line them up, knock them down. Yeah. They said it was a grind. They said it takes time, yeah, I know. I guess they weren't lying. Every time I try to climb, they cut the rope. I fell straight to the bottom, got problems, I don't really wanna talk about them, no. I've been down this road too many times to be afraid. I close my eyes when I walk down it.
Good morning, YouTube. It is Thursday, March 17th, coming at you at around 7 a.m. So I'm going to show you guys, just stepped on the scale, weighing in this morning, 162.2. Physique update, you guys can see it's definitely getting leaner, and there you heard the bell go on the app that shows numbers went down. So 162.2 this morning, weighing in, there you go, 12.9% body fat, and then that was again yesterday after a high carb day. So I told you guys the next full day of eating is going to be a higher fat day, and it just so happens to be that today is actually going to be an off day. I trained hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so Thursday, today, going to be a rest day. You're going to let the body recover. I'm going to eat at around maintenance. I'm going to eat between 2,900 and 3,000 calories, higher fat. I'm going to start the morning off. I already got it set up with some fasted cardio. So I will be getting a little bit dressed for that. I like to do my cardio with a hoodie on, just so I could sweat a little more. Not saying there's any more benefits to doing it with or without a hoodie, but that's what I prefer to do. And we're going to start the meals after I finish the fasted cardio. So you guys saw weighing in 162.2 this morning, 12.9% body fat on the scale, and that's after a high carb up day. Typically your body's going to be holding on a little bit of more water after you eat a lot of carbs the day before. And if it was a higher fat day yesterday, I probably would have weighed in a little closer to that 12% body fat. And remember guys, it may not be completely accurate, but as long as the scale or whatever device that you're using to measure with is trending downwards and you see a trend, meaning if you're trying to gain weight, the trend will go up. If you're trying to lose weight and lose fat, you would see the numbers going down. That's a good sign, right? And what you want to do, make sure you're maintaining your strength, guys. So I'm going to get on the bike for about 25 minutes, and we're going to start the fasted cardio. Alright, so you guys can see we're now into our fasted cardio. So let me pull up the timer for you guys. Now you guys can see we are about 9 minutes left. So we did a total of 22 minutes this morning, fasted cardio. As I'm on the bike, I'm watching a little bit of the scientist himself, Lane Norton, talking about low carb diets destroy testosterone. And basically he wraps it up saying it's not just low carb diets that decrease testosterone, it's a low carb diet with a high protein intake over a longer period of time that could decrease testosterone levels, right? So that's why you don't really like to see me personally do low carb for too long. I'll have lower carb days, but then I have high carb days as well. So I like to cycle my macros. That's what works best for me. So we got about 8.5 minutes left on the bike, fasted cardio right now, and then we're gonna get into meal one. See you there. All right, guys. Back in the kitchen. So it's about 7:43 this morning. I just finished 22 minutes of fasted cardio on my bike. You guys saw I had the hoodie on, so I may even look even a little bit leaner now. I could have dropped a little bit of water weight. Who knows? I'm not re-weighing myself. But like I said, today is going to be a higher fat day. That does not mean I'm going to have no carbs. When I have higher fats, I'm going to typically keep the total calories from around 40 to 45% total fat for the day. Carbs will land around 30% as well as protein, right? Maybe on the little lower end for both of them. Fat might go up to as high as 45%, and we might have around 25 and maybe 30% carbs and protein, right? But the key is, guys, when I have a higher carb day, my carbs are around 45 to 50%, right? So I like to have that complete switch, right? Where I have the high fat day, where the fats take up almost 45 to 50% of the total calories, and the rest is split between carbs and protein. And then a higher carb day, vice versa, right? 45 to 50% total calories from carbs, and then split the rest of the calories up between fats and protein. But like I said, today's going to be a higher fat day. Yesterday was a high carb day. Trained really hard yesterday. Did a ton of high intensity reps and sets, body weight style. So we're going to be getting into breakfast now. So I'm going to show you what we got laid out. Like always, guys, we got the eggs. We're going to have 2 scrambled eggs today. We're going to throw 1 slice of organic mozzarella cheese in there. We have the Canadian bacon. We're going to have 2 slices of Canadian bacon. Canadian bacon is typically a lot leaner than regular bacon, but it's higher in protein. And I've just been on a kick with it lately. So we're going to have 2 scrambled eggs, 1 piece of cheese melted in the eggs. We're going to have the Canadian bacon, 2 slices. We have an avocado. This is probably going to be about 80 grams of avocado. I will open it up, weigh it all out. And that's pretty much going to be the breakfast. I'm going to cook the meal, actually, in some grass-fed butter. I always like to use Kerrygold. I like to use ghee too. I cook in coconut oil, olive oil. But I love eggs and butter. It tastes really good. And besides that, after this, I'm also going to be having a black coffee. But this morning, I'm actually going to put some coconut oil in the black coffee, and I'll show you that when it's ready. But before we get into the meal, let's show you guys the supplements, which I'll be taking as soon as I'm done with the food, right? So like always, guys, water. So I start the day 6 capsules of the organ pills. Like I've said before, this has grass-fed liver, grass-fed heart, grass-fed kidney, grass-fed pancreas, and grass-fed spleen. Yes, this is Liver King's company. I was on this before I even knew who Liver King was. No affiliation to the dude, but I've said in the past I think he's a very smart guy. I just can't personally follow his diet. After I take the 6 capsules of that, I always have 4 of these turmeric and curcumin pills, right? These are really good for anti-inflammatory properties of the body. If you have joint pains, things like that, it's going to be similar to taking like MSM and Chondroitin, but I'd rather take it from turmeric. Very high bioavailable source of anti-inflammatory nutrients right there. And then we're going to get into the vitamins. So we always have 2 vitamin C's, 2 magnesium, 3 and 8. Remember, 3 and 8 magnesium is the only type of magnesium that's going to cross the blood-brain barrier. We're going to have 1 vitamin E, 1 vitamin D. I told you guys, we started taking turkesterone. I started off at 3 capsules a day. I actually just recently upped it to 4 capsules a day at the beginning of this week. So I'll take 2 capsules with breakfast now, and then I'll take 2 capsules later, which would normally be my pre-workout meal. And of course, guys, I can't forget, every morning, before I take the supplements, we got the sea moss, and I'm running low. If you guys need, check out Griffin Moss on Instagram. You guys could use my code PREZ1 at checkout. You could also check them griffinmoss.com. Best sea moss on the market. They got tons of different formulas. They make it with too, so check them out. And like I said, look, it's 7:47 now. I'm going to cook all this up, plate it, and then I'll show you guys when it's ready. Hopefully everything's ready in less than 10 minutes. Let's go. Alright guys, it's 7:55 and breakfast is done. You guys can see we have 2 whole scrambled eggs with 1 slice of organic cheese. I usually typically have 2 slices of Canadian bacon. There was 3 left in the pack, so I had the 3 slices. Gonna bring the protein up a little higher. Told you guys I was gonna have this avocado. I opened the avocado up. It still wasn't quite ripe. It was a little hard. So I'm not gonna eat the avocado this morning. And remember, avocado is gonna be, it's gonna have fats, protein, and carbs, and very low in the protein, but it's also gonna have carbs in it because avocado is considered a fruit and it have a lot of fiber. So to make up for that fat and fiber content, we're gonna have these dang coconut chips. I just found these in the supermarket recently. Lightly salted coconut chips. 200 calories per serving, 17 grams of fat, 11 grams of carbs, 6 of those grams of carbs of fiber, and only 2 grams of protein. So let me just give you guys a quick little tip about carbs and fiber. They'll tell you only net carbs count, right? So let's just say, for instance, this has 11 grams of carbs total, but 6 of those grams of fiber. That means you're going to get a net carb intake of 5, right? So this only really has 5 grams of carbs. I don't really ever look at it that way. I always just look at full carb count for the day. But so let's just say, for instance, let's say you guys are taking in 150 grams of carbs and 50 grams of fiber. That fiber is typically indigestible, so they really don't count it towards your carbohydrate intake. So it pretty much lower your carbs down from 150 to 100 grams for the day, right? Because that fiber is not being digested, just being excreted. So we got the 2 eggs, 1 slice of cheese, 3 slices of turkey, 3 slices of Canadian bacon. We're gonna have 1 serving, which is 30 grams of these coconut chips. So this is gonna be breakfast. I'll take all my supplements after, and I'll see you guys at the coffee next. Alright guys, back in the kitchen. It is not time for a meal. I told you I'm gonna be having some coconut oil in my black coffee, right? So I already actually had 6 ounces of coffee. Every morning, I brew myself 18 ounces. I drink a total of 18 ounces throughout the day, and I cut that off typically by around 1 p.m., right? So I'll have about 6 or 8 ounces first thing in the morning, and then I'll split up the next remaining 10. I'll have like 2 cups of 5 ounces left, right? So what we're going to do now, guys, and this is key, right, when you're preparing this. You don't have to do it this way, but it's going to make life a lot easier. So I have the coffee brewed already, right? So it's actually warm. It's not hot right now. So if I was to do this hot, it's actually going to make a mess. So I'm going to pour 8 ounces of this coffee into my NutriBullet. Alright, the reason why I'm keeping it warm and I'm not heating the coffee up yet is because anytime I've done it with extremely hot coffee and try to blend it, it pours out through. It doesn't stay sealed. I don't know if it's because it's too hot, because I put the oil in, but whatever. I prefer to do with room temperature, this method, and then I'm going to heat it up. And you're going to see when you mix. So if I was to just put coconut oil in the coffee, right, and try to stir it, it would just pretty much sit on top, right? You would see a big layer of oil in the coffee. But if you blend it, it's going to make it nice and creamy, almost like a latte type, right? So 15 milliliters is the serving size of coconut oil. We're going to dump that right in. Boom. Little over. I went to 16 milliliters. No big deal, right? Going to give me an extra maybe 10 calories. So now, like I said, the coffee is still warm. Let's see if it holds up without leaking out. So make sure this is sealed tight. We got the bullet. Now guys, you literally just want to put it on, let it turn up for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then take it off, right? You don't want to blend it excessively. It's not necessary. All we want to do is blend it quickly. Boom. And look at that. From black coffee to a nice, creamy, latte-looking texture. All this is 1 scoop of coconut oil and black coffee. Now what I will do, now I'll just pour this into a cup. And now I will reheat it. So it's still nice and frothy, nice and creamy. We'll heat it up for about 55 seconds. And we're going to have ourselves a nice, creamy, tasty cup of black coffee. And remember, coconut oil contains what's called MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, right? They say that those triglycerides, or that type of fat, pretty much gets digested really easily and used for energy, right? It doesn't get stored as body fat. It's a primary fuel source for your body, right? So this is going to enhance fat burning when you have no presence of glucose or carbohydrates in the bloodstream, right? Now, you wouldn't want to have a cup of coffee like this with coconut oil and at the same time have some carbs or some sugar, because that will cause this coconut oil, instead of being used as energy, because now you're going to have the glucose in the bloodstream as well, then that most likely may get stored as fat, right? And your body will not know what to use. Should it use the carbs for energy or should it use the fats for energy? So one of them will be stored as fat as opposed to just utilizing the straight macronutrient for energy when you're having it by itself. So this is just about done. And hopefully you guys can see, still beautiful, nice and creamy. I'm going to pour this into my coffee cup so it stays hot. I'm going to sip on this, and it's about 9:50, so just about around 10:45, 11 a.m. I'll start preparing my next meal. See you there. Alright guys, so back in the kitchen. It's about 11:30. Now I'm going to have my second meal. This would typically be my pre-workout meal if I was working out, but it's an off day like I said. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it's going to be a higher fat day, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to have any carbs. It's not like I'm avoiding carbs altogether. So, for this meal, what do we have going right now? I have 45 grams of cooked gluten-free oats. Well, it's 45 grams weighed out prior to cooking it, but that's it cooked right now. I told you I'm still going to be having some carbs. I'm going to top this with 30 grams, which is 1 full serving of my gluten-free, grain-free granola. You guys have seen me use this in the past. So typically, if this is a pre-workout meal, I would have more carbs. I would have about 60 grams, which I'm doing now. When I was on my bulk, it was 80 grams. So 60 grams would be the oats or cream of rice. That's the difference, right? So I have only 45 grams in today, lower carb. Also on the side here, I have right now my Tremona organic grass-fed A2A2 whole milk yogurt, one serving, 170 grams. Here I have 145 grams of blueberries weighed out. I'm going to split them in half, half on top of the granola, half on top of the yogurt. And then we're going to top the yogurt with as well. We have these shelled pumpkin seeds, very high in protein. One serving, 30 grams, gives you 10 grams of protein. I'm not going to do 30 grams. I'm only going to do half that, serving size 15, which is 5 grams of protein and another 7.5 grams of fat, and only 3 grams of carbs per serving, so 1.5 grams of carbs for the half serving right here. So we're going to top the yogurt off now. 15 grams of the pumpkin seeds. And let me show you guys where we're at so far for the day. So, this meal is coming out to 640 calories. Breakfast came out to 660 calories. So, for the day so far, you guys can see, we are at 57% total fat intake for the day. We are at 25% carbs, which is we're already at 83 grams of carbs, right? And my protein is at 57 grams. So I'm very low on protein so far, only taking up 18% of the total calories. So like I said, guys, high fat, I'm still going to be taking in I'm probably going to cap the carbs at around 150 grams today. I won't go over 150 grams. And the protein, I'm going to try to keep it at around 1 gram per pound of body weight. Probably going to go a little over today, just going to be having a little bit fattier cuts of food. So I'll probably be in that 160 to 180 gram protein range by the end of the day. And already, guys, with 1,300 calories in, I got 1,700 more calories to go till I hit 3,000. So I'm going to fall between 2,900 and 3,000 calories for the day. So meal number 2, I'm going to put this down. This will keep me full for the next 2-3 hours minimum. Then I'll see you guys at lunch. Peace out. Alright guys, it's about that time. It is 2:20 in the afternoon. Now I'm going to be preparing lunch. So, what I have here is I have 1 pound of my grass-fed, grass-finished. Remember, no affiliation to this brand, but I order their meat all the time. Force of Nature Ancestral Blend ground beef. Ancestral means it has organ meat in it. So this is 100% grass-fed beef mixed with beef liver and beef heart. It has 11 grams of fat per serving and 22 grams of protein per serving. So we're going to have 6 ounces of this. I'm undecided if I'm going to ground it up or make it into a burger because I'm going to be putting cheese on it. It's easier for me to ground up. It's faster. But I mean, a burger with cheese tastes a lot better than ground up meat with cheese taste on it, in my opinion. What I have here, I have 5 ounces of baked sweet potato. I told you guys, it's a lower carb day, but that does not mean I'm avoiding carbs altogether. So I actually already heated this up earlier. I'm just going to reheat it up while this cooks. I am going to put on top of the potato when it's done a half a serving of the Kerrygold grass-fed butter. And like always, guys, not like always, but most of the time we're cooking in 0 calorie olive oil spray. And literally the only ingredient, organic extra virgin olive oil. No expeller pressed canola oil, no sprays, no emulsifiers, nothing. You want it clean, simple, right? So, very easy lunch to prepare. I'm going to whip this up right now. Like I said, it's 2:22 exactly on the clock. So, when it's done, hopefully in less than 10 minutes, I'll show you guys the finished product. And let me just show you seasoning the meat with just pink Himalayan sea salt, garlic powder, and pepper. Simple, nice and easy. See you guys in a few. Alright guys, so 20 minutes later, 2:40 on the clock. And as you guys can see, I actually decided to go with burgers, which take a little bit longer. So I had the full pound of the grass-fed Ancestral Blend beef. I seasoned it up, like I said, salt, pepper, garlic. I made 1 6-ounce patty and 2 5-ounce patties. And I got the 6-ounce patty now. If I weighed it out now, it's probably going to weigh out to around maybe a little less than 6 ounces. Because usually when you cook meat, it loses a little bit of water weight through it. And it decreases in size after you cook it, right? So this is pre-cooked weight, 6 ounces, and I have 2 5-ounce other burgers here, which I'll save for tomorrow. So I told you, I topped it with 1 slice of organic cheese. We have 7 grams of Kerrygold on this baked potato. And I topped the baked potato with some cinnamon. So total macros and calories for this meal, 606 calories. Let's show you the macros. We have 37 grams of carbs, 30 grams of protein, and 46 grams of fat. And that's 37 grams of carbs, obviously, from the sweet potato. So like I said, I'm not avoiding carbs. I'm just going to be on the lower end of the spectrum today. Post-workout, if it was an on day, I might have had 8 ounces of sweet potato, a leaner cut of meat, right? So I'm going to take this down, and the total calories so far for the day, guys, we are at, well, I tracked everything. So we should be falling the end of the day around 2950. I'm not going to tell you the total right now because I already have my dinner and my snack meal prepped out in the app already. So I'll see you guys at dinner, which is going to probably be around a good 3 hours from now. See you then. Alright guys, back in the kitchen and it's dinner time. So it's about 5:30 right now. I'm going to get my meal ready. It should take no longer than 10 minutes again. So what I have here, I have actually about 7 ounces of ground leftover turkey. This is from yesterday's meal. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have 6 ounces of this. I'm going to save myself probably about an ounce or whatever's left after 6 ounces and eat with one of those leftover burgers I had from earlier, right? Now we have a bag of organic baby spinach. I'm going to eat half of this bag. I'm going to saute it up. I'm going to season it with salt, pepper, garlic, half this bag. I'm going to drizzle some olive oil on it. In the pan, I have just one spray of the 0 calorie olive oil spray. Then I'm going to top the spinach when I put it in the pan with a little more olive oil, organic, extra virgin olive oil, of course. I'm going to heat up the spinach. Then when the spinach is done heating up, I'm going to throw the turkey in to warm that up. Heat all that up, and it's going to be a very easy, simple dinner meal. And that's what I'm eating for dinner, guys. So I'll show you guys the final product. Let's go. Alright, so less than 10 minutes later, very, very easy meal to prepare. Which helps was that I had the turkey already left over from yesterday. So what I didn't show you prior was my chipotle mayonnaise. I'm going to top this with 1 serving, which is I think 16 grams, 13 grams. So 13 grams on top. Listen, 13 grams will go a long way. I have the spinach on the bottom of the bowl, the turkey on top. It's definitely going to be a lower carb meal right here. And what I want to mention is, guys, so what you guys are going to notice now, I'm eating a lot more fibrous vegetables, right? Meaning sweet potatoes, the greens, things like that. They're more fibrous than the rice, right? But like I explained before about the net carb intake with the fiber, the more fiber that's in your diet, typically people say you can subtract those carbs. And for me, it's actually always been a little more beneficial when I can eat a higher carbs that are more fibrous like that, because I do notice that I do actually kind of maintain a little more leanness when I have that higher fiber from the carb intake like sweet potatoes as opposed to the white rice. But again, nothing wrong with white rice. I just like to switch it up every now and again. So, dinner meal, we got 1 more meal to go, which is my meal, what I call my snack or my dessert. You guys are going to like this, so stay tuned for it. See you there. Alright guys, back in the kitchen. Final time of the evening. You know what time it is. Time for dessert. You guys know I like to have my dessert every night, but I like to make healthy variations of food options that you typically find out that are a lot higher in calories, higher in sugar than the versions that you can make very easily and cheaper for yourself. So we're going to be making tonight an acai bowl. So we're going to start with, I buy these packs. You can find them in Whole Foods, Stop and Shop. Pretty much all major supermarkets carry them now. You want to get the unsweetened packs, right? Unsweetened acai packs. 0 sugar, macros on there. So you get 4 in a pack like this, right? You need 2 to make a bowl. So 1 pack makes 2 bowls, right? You get 5 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs, 0 sugar, and 1 gram of protein per single. So per 2, you're going to have 10 grams of fat, 8 grams of carbs, 0 sugar, 2 grams of protein, right? So what you guys want to do is, because they're frozen, you want to let them defrost a little bit. So you have them a little soft enough without break in the pack, right? So we're going to need almond milk, obviously acai, and a banana. That's all you need for the base. Sometimes when I want to add a little bit more protein to this, or if my diet is low on protein for the day, and I want to point out, guys, this entire day of eating was done without any protein powders, no shakes, nothing, all whole food, and we had our protein intake easy, just fine. So we're going to need, like I said, 2 packs of acai already defrosted. We're going to need almond milk and a banana. That's going to be the base, right? But we're not using the whole banana for the base. All we need is a half. So I'm going to walk you through it, guys. We're going to open the acai packs first. Dump them right in. You have a NutriBullet, your blender, whatever you're using. Get it all in there, guys. Alright, then you want to break off just half the banana. The other half is going to be used for your toppings. So we want about 1 medium banana. Put that right on top. And then, guys, I'm going to estimate about, it's probably only 2 to 3 ounces of almond milk. You don't want too much liquid, because remember, the acai is going to blend and it's going to give it the nice base. So, and you'll notice when you're blending it, if it's not blending, you add a little more liquid. If it's blending well, it should come out a nice, thick, creamy, smoothie type base, right? So, and again, if I was adding protein, I would have put protein in and blended it all up, but no protein in today. So we got the base here, guys. And you can tell, if it's blended smoothly, you won't hear any pieces of ice floating around in there. So, and you'll know you have a good base, a good size base. We're going to weigh this out, guys. Ideally, we always want it to be around between 280 to like 310 grams, right? That's how much total volume of liquid we want in there. And what did we get today? Alright, we're just about 290 grams right there. I get it all out. At the top from here. Oh, look at that, perfect. 296 grams of base. Now, we're going to need for the toppings, guys, anything you guys really want. This is what I like to have. So, like I said, we're going to put the other half of the banana on. We're going to put that at the end. So, typically, I'll have strawberries, bananas. I have no strawberries right now. So we're going to have these coconut chips, what you saw earlier, right? Remember, 1 serving is 30 grams. It's very, very voluminous. If you weighed out 30 grams, it's a very lot of coconut chips. I'm not going to put anywhere near that. I'm literally just going to take a sprinkle for some decoration and some crunch. That is the only purpose of it. This is probably going to give me maybe 5 calories. Then, we got our gluten-free, grain-free granola. We're going to use 30 grams. 30 grams of granola. Which is 1 serving. Now we're going to chop up the other half of the banana. And then all we have left is our peanut butter. Weighing it out, guys. And of course, organic. We're using creamy peanut butter today. Make sure there's no palm oil, nothing like that in the ingredients. And now we get a nice drizzle. We want 32 grams. Nice drizzle of peanut butter on top. Typically, I would weigh it out of the can, out of the jar of peanut butter. Usually, I would have the jar of peanut butter on the scale and then weigh it out. Be a little more accurate, but I'm pretty good at this by now. I still get 2 more grams. I'm taking every gram of peanut butter I could get. There we go. Alright, guys. Final product. Beautiful acai bowl. So, I told you guys, I pre-tracked everything for the day. Total calories for the day, 2,952. We are at 54% fat, falling at 180 grams. 21% protein, falling at 159 grams, which is actually slightly lower than 1 gram per pound of body weight. And we have 184 grams of carbs, which make up 25% of the total calories. Just to show you guys, final numbers for the day. Carbs, 184. Fat, 180. Protein, 159. So, you guys can see. Some people will call this carb cycling. I just call it eating more carbs, my body's going to utilize them, and less carbs, my body's not going to utilize them, right? So, obviously higher fat today, so my body's primary fuel source for the day was fat. Typically, they'll say when you're eating more fats, your body's going to burn more fat. Is it true? in my opinion, it just makes sense. I don't know the real science behind it. I can't say if it's absolutely true or not. But to me, it makes sense. The same reason why fasted cardio would make sense to burn more fat than doing it non-fasted, right? But again, the studies don't always show that. It always comes down to pretty much calories in, calories out at the end of the day. So, 29, 52. Like I said, my maintenance calories falling around just about 3,000. So I'm eating around 2,900, 3,000 every day now. And again, this is an off day, so I wanted to be slightly around that area just so I can have enough calories to feel good and recover. Tomorrow I'll be training hard. Probably be back on a high or a moderate carb day, depending on the intensity of, or what I do during the training day, right? So, full day eating is done, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. 2,900 calorie, high fat day of eating. 162 pounds this morning. Don't know what I'm weighing in right now. Probably around 164 pounds. You always end up going up a few pounds during the end of the day. And then in the morning is your true weight. That's why I always recommend taking your weight in the morning. So like always, guys, I really appreciate the support. Share the video if you liked it. Like the video if you really liked it. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. Again, if you have any questions, leave in the comment section. I'll always get back to you. You guys can reach me on Instagram, barnaturalfitness.com. Barnaturalfitness on Instagram, my bad. BARNATURALPREZ@gmail.com. You want to send me an email, and check out the website, barnaturalfitness.com. So, like always, guys, peace out. Barnaturals.
For a die, I'm top 3. For a die, I'm top 3. For a die, look.